Okay, legit. As usual, we're gonna start off with the dollar index. Okay, so we've had this big move down, obviously, and we've taken out these stops, and we've been calling. I've been calling, like, this down move all the way down from here, and the only reason is because of the stop run play. So this consolidation here. Um, And the reason why I keep mentioning this consolidation here is because this concept I'm using, or I'm trying to go over, is going to be used all the time. So if you just mark that across, took out that high and come back down, basic play. Okay, so that's done now. Let's go to this low. So this low comes in at 9190, the same one. Now what's happening at this low is crucial. So I'm finding it difficult to stick a proper bias until we've had clear movement of this. So the way the monthlies look right now, obviously we are below the monthly open and it is looking bearish. Okay, and it's still early into September. It's on what, 6th or something today, so it's still early into September. There's a lot that can happen, and that's why usually after the first week, maybe second and third week, I find is when you're gonna catch the bulk of the candle. Okay, unless it's one of those ones that immediately takes off. So as it stands now, it's not really too clear for me on the monthly. But so in those situations, what do? I just day trade one stop to another. Weekly, so we had this candle here last week, took out those stops, rejected it. I wouldn't say I've changed my bias yet, but you gotta look back and see, is there a level there we can have possible bounce off of, and naturally you can get some sort of profit taking. It can still continue lower, but you get a lot of profit taking in these areas. But I'll mark out this monthly candle, right? So we are into a support zone. I wouldn't call it a level, it's just like a zone, but we are into that monthly level where it was resistance there, sell off, buying. For me, if we were to get below this is just a monthly basis, but if we get to below this, I think we come all the way back down. We take out these lows then, but let's not get there now. We want to know what's going to happen now, but I just wanted to point that out. Okay, so weekly there, let's go back to the daily. Now with the daily, it is sort of bearish, but it's the key for me is this going to be a higher low from that low? I'm not interested in this one here, higher low, and look at how we're about to close. The daily candle hasn't closed yet, but it's starting to go back up into this. Now obviously keep in mind it is ECB tomorrow, so I rarely trade the euro then. Maybe other pairs before the ECB, but it's good to map it out anyway and see how it goes. So last week when price was here, I posted a chart. I said the euro's gonna I wanted to see possible dollar go above here. It hasn't done that, but I said I want to see this low hold. So far, if we mark out this, right, so far, we have nice respect of 50% on that. Now that alone doesn't mean too much to me. But I'll get serious about this by looking at all the other pairs, majors. What are they suggesting to me? But we'll go on to that. But let's take it one step at a time. This is what I'm thinking. So we've come to that, we've tested that, we've taken out these stops there, and we're starting to push up now. Going on to the H1, I mean, we've taken, I'd say I'd consider this taking it out, but a serious test of have the buy stepped in is a clear move away, and that might come in tomorrow. Or what tomorrow might also do is run the lows 9190s and just rip up from there. But I like the fact we're staying above the 9190 level, and we respected that H4 block, the 50% of it, and we showed nice bullishness. Okay, but it's not over just yet. This is just a little bounce, it could mean anything. So if you ask me where do you think it's going right now, I'm neutral. I would like to see it go up, so I'll have my plan marked out. If we start pushing up and I'd like to see a clearance of this, then we come like this. So what I'll be looking for is this move here would have caused the stop run. This up candle caused the down move to take out this stop and this stop. So naturally what we want to see is support being established there. Okay, but what you want is, you want to make sure you want to see clear buying. a big move up, an impulse move up, is just there to show you that, okay, buyers have stepped in, and you want to see that happen of a key level. I consider this a key level, or key zone, whatever you want to call it, okay? So we wait until that happens, and then once that happens, then like that, okay? But till then, it doesn't mean you can't day trade in between. But that's my dollar for now. But the other pairs out there that I want to mention are a lot more clearer. So for me, as I said, it's not too clear, but the first sign is it's nicely respected the level I would have wanted it to respect. It's done that. If it breaks this low here, I then believe, okay, now we're going to go all the way down and take out this low then, and possibly lower. But if this holds, then I'm bullish, okay? Or I'm looking for bullish scenarios, to put it better. So let's go on to the main part now, okay? This is what I'm looking for. Okay, pound dollar, where are you? Yeah, I'll start with the euro first, okay? Now the euro, I had I spoke about shorts last week, and we came down into this level, and this is the key level here, okay? Now this for me is the line in the sand for me. This, the way it's looking to me at the moment, I think we're gonna have a pullback now. The way it's looking to me now, we've got an idea based off the dollar index that it could be bouncing up, and we're getting signs here now this could be pushing lower. So if I mark this out, you know, here, you know, we came down, respected that, and pushed up. Now this is a daily level, but I'm not convinced that this is gonna hold. What would convince me that this is gonna hold is if we get a clear movement above this. Okay, so for me to get bullish this, I want to see this like that, okay? And if that happens, then I had targets marked out. If you look back at my Twitter feed, or my trading view, I've got 21, 60, 1 second, 121, and then this level here, 122, and so on. But that's long term away. So what would negate my bullishness? Okay, if we get a move back below this low here, then I think we're going to run these stops and possibly have a retracement lower. It doesn't mean the trend's over, but I think we're going to get a move lower. So as it stands, this is not the pair I would decide to take. I'm going over it because some people have asked me, but this is not the pair I want to take. But it's good to keep an eye on it anyway. So I think if we get below, where's it gone? If we get below here, this is the breaker. That was crucial. Okay, this, because this led to the move up. I took out the stops. And then we had resistance, pop up, support. If this acts as support, if it holds, then okay. But if this breaks, then it's game over, I think, at least short term. And I believe we're gonna take out this. So it may mean you wait for this, it may mean you want to wait for this, but if you have to wait, you have to wait. But when it sets up the way you want it to, then you can afford to go balls deep in, and that one trade could make up a whole week, a whole month worth of profits. But it is a game of being patient right now. So I think that's gonna happen, something like this. But ECB tomorrow, anything can happen. Okay. Give me a minute. 1 second, I just. Okay, so that's the euro. Cable. Now my favorite going forward is the cable. Going forward. Now I was looking for longs early this week. On the Monday, I didn't get the long, and then Tuesday, I tried to short it. And I want to go over why I tried to short it and what changed my bias. So if you look at this, right, we're starting to have breakdown here. H1 candles here, breakdown. I thought, okay, resistance. I shorted it here. I was up about 5-6 ticks, and then at this point here, when it was pushing up, I said if it goes above 129.30, I'm cutting it. As soon as it started pushing up and it wouldn't have any follow through after this low got taken, I cut it. I took about I don't know, a couple of pips loss, nothing major. I wasn't able to get back in. There was nothing clear for me to get back on board. Not a setup that I would personally take. Yes, I did see this at the time, but I wasn't at the charts. At this point, I wasn't on the charts, but it doesn't matter because I was in other trades. But that was the long there. Now, I'm short term. I'm getting bearish this market. So, reason why? If you look at this candle here, right? If you look at this candle here, and this is supporting what my possible dollar bullish idea short term. Okay, so if I go to the close of this candle, 137.54, 137.54. Okay, so this down candle led to the move up, but then we found no support here because this down candle, where obviously there was buying here, but there was no buying, so they broke through it. They come back up. And this is why it's such a key resistance level. We go above this, I think we're gonna take out these highs here, at least to there and then there. But it's fine. What's so crucial about this? It's confluence, isn't it? We're getting confluence with the dollar index as well, with what the dollar is doing. That's why I'm holding this so significant. So this is just phase one though. You have your level. Has it reacted the way you wanted to? So far, so good. Okay. Where could it go down into? Well, here would be the logical first target here. Logical. So the high of this candle is 129.656. It's the point of release, or where the candle broke out from. 129.656. And this is why I posted the cable chart. So okay, this would be target one. Now, what's happening on the lower time frame? So I've spoken about consolidations, right? This consolidation here led to the move up. Now we're coming back into it. If it was to hold, and if I was bullish, this should have held. Well, it is holding at the moment, but it's looking quite weak at the moment. Bring in your view with the dollar index. This is most likely looking to me it's gonna break and come back down, fill these gaps in here, inefficiencies, and at least to here. I believe it's gonna come into here. Is what I'm saying making sense? This is the consolidation here, where the push up into what? This key level. This is a key level here. We're talking about a daily level. It's not a 5-minute or H1 level. It's the daily. The fact that it's a daily level is so significant. Then keep in mind what's happening in the dollar index always at the same time. Okay. And then, you know, see, I wouldn't have taken a short there. I was actually looking for longs, and when I was posting tweets earlier, I seen this late. I didn't see this here. I seen it late here. I see it around here, and I got long. Can't remember, did I get long? I got long around somewhere here, and he pushed up, broke this high, and then I said, if he starts breaking this, then I'm gonna be out. And he came down, nearly took. My stop loss was there at the time, but as soon as this happened, I pushed my stop loss just under there. And when it was pushing up, I said, fuck this, because on the 5-minute, it just didn't look right. So I closed it for about half a tick, and then as soon as I seen this little stop raise, only one tick, got back in the board again at the close of this candle. It did push up, but it wasn't what I wanted it, and I closed it. So, and I put my stop loss at 46. So it took me out a break even, but it is what it is. So I've always said before, right? Say you're looking for longs, but the bullish level, the support levels aren't being respected. That's like a warning sign. Okay, it's like a warning sign. Okay, if your bullish levels that you've marked out, they're not holding, then what could that mean? Well, one is you get a slow, shitty day, consolidation day, where no real levels get respected, and you just get messy price action, taking stops up and below. Or the second scenario could be maybe it's topped out, or maybe we could expect a pullback. So always have that in mind, So if that's the case, then you want to be ready for the other side of the story as well. So you start marking out your bearish levels. Are they getting respected? So when I was looking at this, I said, okay, come down, pushed up, then broke down, and then I was watching this price action here. I didn't take a trade, but I thought to myself, okay, if this holds, I'd like to see it hold, because then it would come in line with my bearish picture then, of the dollar being bullish and cable coming down lower, and I've got key levels marked up below market as well for it to go. So I said, okay, that's happening now, and it's come down, and then where they were bearishness, they're starting to respect that now. See that here? That's why I posted the chart I did, and logically the stops, those that are long, their stops will be resting below the low of day. That's why I posted the chart I did on cable, marking out this low here. See if it holds, see if it's breaking down. So going back to the consolidation, right? I've taken a short on this already, right? It's a small position. My main position will be loaded tomorrow if it breaks this, right? And just how I did with the euro, if you remember the euro, let me just quickly go back to the euro, because this will make sense then. If you remember the euro, I had these consolidations marked out. Well, let me just I had this marked out here, right? And then I had this marked out here, And do you remember when I was on my Twitter, I was saying I was shorting it there, and each consolidation I was looking for shorts. Well, where they're buying, I'm gonna be looking for selling now at the area. So here there's obvious buying because it pushed the price up within this consolidation. So if they break it, that is gonna be used for what? Selling. Okay. So if this goes, then retesting to that. Whatever entry technique you use, whether it's moving averages, basic SR, whatever it is, right? Ichimoku, whatever. It's like an area where you're looking to sell, you know. So this is where it makes sense to sell. So I'll be looking for my breakdown on the lower time frame, and then if it gives me that breakdown into this consolidation once it breaks, then I'm gonna be looking to short. I know where the market wants to go, at least down to here, and that could be the only trade you take all week. That's fine. So if that gives in, then it's gonna be this consolidation then next, isn't it? Because this consolidation is what really started the move up within here. So those that are long, stops are going to be resting there. Then obviously you can just take out each swing low at a time and see what the dollar is doing. For all I know, it could come down into here and rip. I don't know that yet, but at least I can play it to a level where it's most likely to go to for a target, and then I can worry about is this going to hold or not after that. Okay, so however you want to play it, whether you want to take profits there or trail some, that's up to you. That's how. But so far, that's how I'm thinking of it. I can't see this holding, but if it does, then I'm ready for the upside scenario as well. So if it takes off from here, these down candles, well, it shows that they were buying within these down candles. So I'm just gonna mark this out here. I know it's a little box, so I'm just marking out possibly if this is the low and we start pushing up, then these down candles were where they were buying. So what you do then, or I would do anyway, is wait for the break out above it, a nice clear thrust out above it, then a retest of this, right? Then look for your bullish price action, however you look for it. Then you know where your risk is then, because you know that it shouldn't break those down candles, it shouldn't break the low of that series of down candles. So that's where my stop loss will be resting, unless price action gives me something else from now and then that gives me a tighter stop. But this is just the overall general picture of what I'm looking for. Is that making sense? So both scenarios marked out and why I'm looking for it. Is everyone clear with that? So those are the two scenarios. I'm more inclined at the moment for the downside because of what the dollar is doing and how this is looking. I was heavily bullish this, and I'm not saying I'm not bullish this, but I'm prepared for both sides. And my upside targets would obviously be, I spoke about the 130, 110 level here. This is why it was that, and then obviously after that, let's fill all this in. I think we're gonna probably reach for at least here, and then this high here. So those would be upside targets, okay? So we'll see what happens. I'd like it to come back down here, show me bullishness to play up again, but we'll see what happens. So that's cable. Any questions on cable? This is the main pair I want to focus on, and then I'll go on to dollar yen. Actually, you know what? Save your questions for afterwards, okay? I'll save the questions for afterwards. Sorry for asking that. Now dollar yen, I was looking for shorts. It did nicely the way I was expecting it to. So I had this range marked out here, from there to there. So this consolidation here. And I said if it gets back below it, I'm looking for shorts, and my targets are already marked out. I thought it would come out, take out this low, but it hasn't. Okay, that's fine. But I had this trade taken on Monday. I think I got squeezed out in the first position here, but then I got back in, and then it played nicely. So that's that. Now what I'm looking for now. So if we look at the timing of this, right? I had this marked out, and you know, some people ask me why you post certain charts but you don't give clear reasoning why you're long or short. I'll tell you why. So if you look on the 5 minute, right, we had this, okay, and price was here at the time, and I'm watching this carefully. I wanted to see if this consolidation holds, because this led to the move up. But soon, and at the same time, I had my eye on the dollar index, which was tagging 50% on the bullish 4-hour block. So that was the reason why I didn't take the short. Although I did want this to go down, take a low of day, it didn't, which shows it was bullish. So go to the H1, it was holding this H1 block, obviously. Okay, it was holding this. Now, when I posted the chart, it was dollar yen was around here. Now, when I know or where price is most likely to go, so we've got this level here, right? And then we've got this level here, so the stops would be resting there, but this is a resistance level as well, because we had to bounce off that. Once it broke, well, it's going to act as support. So I'll aim for minimum target. So say for example this was your target, right? I start looking at the 1 minute charts as entries. Back to the consolidation here, right? So this is why these consolidations are so important. Back to the consolidation here, once you know the price is about to break this, because if it was gonna hold and sell off, it should have done so by now, but when it's going so deep into it, most likely it's gonna go through it, and then it's gonna target what the stops, these stops here, and then those levels are marked up there. So how do I get on board? I actually go down to the 1 minute, right? I'm looking at this carefully on the 1 minute, and I'll even mark out SR levels on the 1 minute, because this I consider as a scalp. Come down here, as soon as it starts breaking out the consolidation here, that's why I posted it. I'll get long there, stop loss just there, and well, target there, and you'll find these scalps often turn into like big hard trades, even though it's only meant to be a scalp. But is that clear? I'll do clear videos on this, but this is just a brief overview of how I use the 1 minute chart. This is why this consolidation is so important. It wasn't just posting it for the sake of it, but yeah, because it started here. This was the pivot point for me, up above it, the back below it, but as soon as we get back above it again, this shows that this was just a stop run into the H1 block or key high time frame level, which is here, and then, but that's that. That's the dollar yen. Now going forward with the dollar yen, okay, let's clear this up a bit. So if I'm going to continue with the bullish dollar theme, then I think we could get retracement on the dollar yen, and we could be a short-term bottom in place. I don't know that yet. As it stands, it's not very clear to me, I'm not going to lie, but I would like it to come up and fill this gap in. So if I'm bullish dollar yen, then dollar, then I think cable, euro is most likely, sorry, heads all over the place, dollar yen is most likely to fill this gap in. But this is going to be a pair I'm going to step to the side and just let it give me more clarity. Once it's clear, I know where my downside targets are. This, the 108.10 level and 107.50, 107. We can deal with that. So for example, if this was just the up move, right, just to take the stops out into this, well, what I would do is I would wait, and I would say, okay then, hang on a minute, this candle here that I've got, they were really, when they were buying within here to send this market up, a break back below that, and then a retest into that where the buying originated from, well, they'll be using that for selling then, and then I can start going in and start selling it. Okay, is that clear? But as it stands, I'm not really willing to take a long on this either at the same time. Okay, for a long scenario, for those that are interested in longs, I'll be looking at these two down candles here and see where we get support. It is quite big, it's a big zone, but I'm not really fussed about that. I'll be waiting, and I'll be waiting for the bullish price section of it. I'll let market tell me where the bottom is. Okay, when market tells me where the bottom is, if it's gonna bottom, then I'll step in. For example, how do I tell the market bottom is? So it consolidates, comes down, takes out some stops, rallies away. Rally away is the break in market structure from the bullish level you expect it to, and a dip back down is a buy. So I'll wait for something like this, and then retracement, and then say if it comes down hard and then it rallies away, break in market structure, then any dip back down into that for me is going to be a buy. And I've got my upside targets marked out, these highs here, and the gap fill. But that's the possible scenario I'm waiting to unfold. But like I said, I prefer the cable, and dollar yen is one of those pairs that often can do whatever the fuck it wants. Yes, I do. So sometimes if I'm heavily bearish a market, right, then what I do is I do have my upside a long bias, but I'm more inclined to have the down bias, and that's because that's just human nature, and because you want the market to go that way. But I do force myself to have the other side of the scenario marked out as well. Reason why is just so I can mitigate my loss quickly I don't have to think too much about it, because when you take a loss, sometimes you get a bit emotional or you get a bit pissed off. But then if I've got my upside marked out and my invalidation level, then I say, okay, well, it doesn't want to do the downside, just like it did dollar yen. So if I shorted this, for example, right? If I had shorted this, I would say, okay, take my stop loss out. Then I would be prepared and ready to take the other side of the trade. Does that make sense? So you can quickly switch and say, okay, if it breaks that, then I'm ready to long it and do that. Does that make sense? Okay. Aussie dollar is looking bullish to me, regardless. It's looking really bullish to me. This pair is obviously come down to this daily block here. I don't have a clear read on this. I'm not gonna lie. I do not have a clear read on this. Like I said, if the dollar is gonna bounce, then most likely, obviously, the majors are gonna drop. So I'm not gonna go over the rest of the pairs until the other price markets clear up. I'm looking at Aussie New Zealand. This has been on a tear. Look at that. It's a really strong move up. So I'm gonna leave Aussie aside for now. If it clears up, I get something, then I'll take it. Because if I'm starting to talk about long Aussie idea, but then I'm saying long dollar index, well, it's gonna confuse people. And if it's not clear to me, then I don't want to look at it. Once it becomes clear, then I'll go into it. But cable's the clearest, like I said. Kiwi's looking weak. It has come into this support level here. But like I said, I'll wait. If I was gonna short any of the, obviously, Aussie or Kiwis, it would be Kiwi, but I'll wait and see. I think a break below this level here, then I would say, okay, if we look at this as a consolidation thing, see this consolidation here. Hang on, knock this one out instead. I would consider a break below here, break below this. I'd see this as a short. Okay. But if it holds, and it has been holding, so if I go back onto the daily, this has been holding. So if I go to here, it's coming off a daily block here, a daily level. But the fact, for me, I think Kiwi's trapped, right? Overall, it does want to go lower, I think, but you know, this is what puts me off. This impulse move, this move up, I see this as actually buying, the way I want to interpret it. And it's coming back down into where the point of where they bought at. So what I wait for is the bullishness to fail, and like I've outlined, a break of this level, then I would start looking for shorts, and I would consider this the wick or the stop run, and then weekly candle down. I think after tomorrow things will clear up, and then obviously it is Friday, but even if you have to wait all week for that one or two solid setups, I think it's worth it because it saves you from losing money. But the Aussie and Kiwi shorter term are looking like they want to push up. Aussie more than the Kiwi, but I'm not focusing on this too much because it's not really clear, I'm not gonna lie. But sometimes once Asia's unfolded and we're heading to London, then setups become clearer, and I'll start posting on my Twitter anyway. If I'm changed bias or whatever I say now could be complete go to waste. So we'll have to wait and see. That's the Kiwi, Euro GBP. So this Euro GBP is another pair that's suggesting to me that Euro could shit the bed tomorrow. It is looking quite weak, and I think it's overdue a proper pullback anyway. This is where it could pull back to. Okay, let's go to the weekly. I like it. I like this level here. It's gonna pull back. I like this level here. Another reason is look at the weekly candle. So last week took out last week's high. Well, this weekly candle, sorry, took out that weekly high, closed within it, and the targets or stops would be resting here. So I would be aiming for these lows here as the next stop rate, and further follow through would mean this level gets hit here. Okay, so I'm gonna wrap it up here, and this is just using this as further Euro weakness, but instead of Euro weakness we could get pound strength that causes this, and it has been the pound strength that has been causing this Euro GBP weakness, so we have to wait until ECB is over to make a decision. I think my internet got cut off there, so I'm gonna wrap it up here, and we'll continue tomorrow or next time.